Hey, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you watched my first video. Thank you so much for the support on that. I really appreciate it. I've honestly thought I'd end up with like 2 views and probably like 5 thumbs down or something stupid like that. If you want to know how I create this look, then please keep on watching. So I've just primed my eyes with the Maybelline Adria Wine Concealer in the shade Light and applied that with the Morphe M224 brush. The palette I'm going to be using today is the James Charles palette. I'm so excited that I finally have this. I can't believe the launch sold out in like 5 minutes or something. And I got it, bitch. How beautiful is this? Also, if you're bad at keeping these plastic bits, I'll just tape them onto the lid of the palette. And therefore, I always have the names when I want them. So I asked you again what you wanted to see on my Instagram poll. If you're not following me, follow me and get involved, because obviously I'm only doing what you want to see. So this week you wanted me to do a bright look but a simple one, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I am going to do something hopefully wearable. I'm not gonna go in with like a blue or something just yet, so I think I'm gonna go in with some orangey shades because I think they're quite wearable, and obviously I want you to feel inspired and not intimidated when it comes to colour. So that's where I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna be using these 2 colours. I think that's all I'll be using. We'll see. To begin with, I'm going to be starting with the shade Rusted, and I'm just going to be using my Lab 2 angled shadow brush. If you're in America, these are really good. I think it's an American based company and really affordable as well. I do recommend these brushes. They sent me a few of them and I love them. I feel like they're really nice quality, not cheap plastic. Well, I don't know what the material of this is. It's like a rubbery textured feel, so they don't go manky if you decide to wash them and leave them on the sink and the paint comes off them, like some of my Zoeva and Sigma ones, unfortunately. Heartbroken. So I'm just going to be tapping into Rusted, starting off with that first. And I'll show it on my more hooded eye just in case you want to see what I do, if you can relate. So I'm just going to tap out my base. And then just looking straight into the mirror, I'm going to go a little bit over my natural crease, but in my socket area. What I'm doing is I'm just packing the colour on. I'm doing it in a straight sort of line. This is because I've got hooded eyelids. If you've got nice, you know, defined lids, I'm sure you know what I'm on about. If you've got normal, nice, you just know what I mean, alright? Let's just not explain that. What I'm doing is I'm taking it in a straight line, and this will give enough colour where my eyes are open and none of it gets hidden. It might be easier for people to do it with an angled brush, so you can do this, get it a little bit more cat eye in shape. So what I'm just packing that on. I'm obviously gonna come back and fill this all in after I'm done with the transition and whatever. It's not really a transition though, but you know what I mean, I'm sure. The next shade in the palette I'm going to be using is 518, which is a lighter orange colour, and I'm just taking that on the Zoeva 231 brush, and I'm just putting that half on, half off. Start with a little bit of colour and then keep adding it on gradually. You know what, I'm kind of surprised that this isn't like BAM! Pigment in your face. Considering it's supposed to be a pigment palette, it's taken a little bit of time to actually build up the colour, which is surprising. Definitely not what I was expecting. What I'm doing is I'm just patting and dragging, and that'll give you a nice blend. And then I'm just going back into the shade Rusted again. I'm just going over that just to intensify the colour a little bit more. And then taking the Lab 2 Beyond a Shadow of a Doubt brush, just a packing brush. I'm just going to be taking that Rusted shade and packing that onto the lid. And I'm not swiping, I'm just patting that in. And to brighten this look up, I might go in with the shade B, which is just a bright yellow colour. Lightly put that all over the outline, the border of what I've done, using the Zoeva 224 brush. Not forgetting the inner corner and the outer corner. And that just makes it look a little bit more fiery. As you can see, I've took that way up into my brow because we're not highlighting. Using the Sigma Stunningly Ladylike gel liner, I'm going to be taking this and putting it in my tight line and a little bit on my lid. That's just to line my lash line, so when I put my lashes on it'll look a lot better. And I'm using a Sigma Winged Liner E06 brush. And doing this, you don't have to be particularly neat as long as you're really getting to your lash line. See, I've been quite messy with that. I don't know if you can see. Now, I know I said I was going to do a simple look, and I still am going to keep it simple, but I'm just going to jazz it up a little bit with some glitter. This is a NYX glitter in a kind of coppery colour, and what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of this NYX glitter primer onto the back of my hand, a little pea-sized amount. I'm just going to rub my finger in it, making sure I'm tapping it so I'm not getting too much. And I'm just going to dab that onto my lid, taking it no more than out of your socket, and really just push that in, making sure it's getting tacky. The same again onto the other eye. Like, if you can see that it's still got a white residue, you're either putting too much on or you're not tapping it in enough. Tapping some out of that fine glitter into the lid. Not too much, just a few taps. About this much is ample, if you can see. And what I'm going to do is take a blending brush like this. This one is the Lab 2 blending brush. I'm going to tap that into the lid. You'll have a tiny little bit on the end, and I'm gonna stamp that on, and that's gonna disperse it nicely, not so you've got massive blobs everywhere. Oh, this glitter's really nice. It's not chunky at all. So I'm just tapping that in, and if you feel like you've got a little bit too much in one area, just brush it. Then repeat onto the other eye. Next, I'm going to be doing my mascara. The one I'll be using is, again, the iconic London one. And I'll just do this off camera because you don't need to see that. So I think I'm going to be using one of these lashes. I recently got sent these, the SM lashes. How beautiful are they? And the names are the FU Lash, cool name, and the Armour Lash. And I think I'll use this one, the Armour Lash. So after you've stuck on your lashes, you're gonna wanna take away all your fallout and glitter, or most of it anyway. Before I started any of my makeup, I primed my face with a little bit of Pixie Rose Oil, and that was just preparing my skin so that it wasn't a complete dry desert. But I'm going to put more moisturiser on. This time I'm going to put a little bit of this Pixie Rose Flash Balm. Just applying this much, and I'm putting that on my forehead, cheeks, just everywhere really. Oh, cotton wool, lovely. And that balm is apparently like a makeup primer and a face mask at the same time, depending on how much you put on. The foundation I'll be using today is this MAC Studio Face and Body one. This one is in the shade C6. Just gonna give this a good shake. I really recommend this if you have dry skin in particular, but it'll work on any skin type, I would say. So I'm putting a generous amount on the back of my hand, and I'm taking this You Spicy brush. These are mega cheap, by the way. You can get like a set of these on Amazon or eBay for like less than a tenner. So what I'm doing is I put a lot on my brush, and I'm just swiping that on first. With this foundation, you can definitely layer it up. You can have any kind of coverage with this one. I just would say that it's definitely not a full coverage. So just a light layer of this first. And also I'd recommend getting the massive bottle. What the fuck? You need a lot of product, but it doesn't look like a lot of product on your face, if you know what I mean. I just think this is probably one of the best foundations ever. As you can see, that's a nice thin layer of foundation. This is definitely a light coverage, but I'm gonna go in with some more. Oh shit. This time, I'm gonna swipe and pat it in. If you don't like a matte foundation, this is probably not for you, but you can definitely powder it to make it matte, and it still looks like perfection. If you're like me and have a skin condition which dries your skin out or whatever. If you have dry skin, acne skin, whatever, this foundation will be perfect for you, because it's just not going to look like you've got 5,000 tons of makeup slapped onto your face. This looks like skin. All it's done is just add the colour in, a little bit of coverage, and proper even my skin tone out. Now I look like an angel. That's the look that we're going for. Before we do anything else, I'm just going to pop off camera and do my eyebrows. Now we're going to be taking my Tarte concealer in the shade medium. I'm going to put a little bit on my forehead to cover any of my dermatitis, a little bit on my nose, and a little bit under my eyes and chin to highlight. With my Zoeva 142 buffer, just gonna lightly stamp that onto those areas, and then I'll go into that foundation brush. But I'm just stamping that everywhere, letting it dry down a little bit for the coverage. So what I'm doing is rough blending. Now going into my foundation brush, I'm just gonna go over the top. To set all my shit today, I'm going to be using the Beauty Bakery flour powder. This one is in the shade yellow. It's a loose powder, and obviously it's slightly yellow. Ooh, 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 ooh. Tap a bit out onto the lid and use a brush for this. The brush I'm going to be using to pat this powder onto my face is the e.l.f. Small Tapered brush. And I'm only going to be powdering where I'll put my concealer and a little bit onto my cheeks, so the pores don't show up as much. If you're in the UK, you can also get that powder in a set at Boots for £40, I think. It comes with a brush and a little egg, which I haven't used yet. To finish off the eyes, I'm going to be taking the Rusted shade onto a Zoeva 230 and basically copying exactly what I did on the top and just putting it onto the bottom. I'm just doing this, connecting the top and the white eyeshadow together. I'm going to be using the shade So Good, which is a light gold. To highlight my face, I'm going to be using the Becca Opal, obviously. Oh, yes. Probably like one of my most favourite highlights ever. And the brush I'm using is the Sigma Tapered Highlight F35. Now, I'm going to use blush. This blush is Heartthrob by Phase Zero. It's a nice baby pink. And I'm just stamping that on with this e.l.f. blush brush. I never used to be a blush person, but now I am. Quite. Well, when I remember anyways. And to bronze, I'm going to be using the NYX palette. You know what? If this video ends up being like longer than 15 minutes, I'll be so shocked, because I'm not even talking halfway near as much as I did in the last one. I honestly can't even get over how good my skin looks today. Wow. I should maybe do it like this more often. Now, what do I want to do with my lips? I feel like I would normally go in with an orange lip, but I'm gonna go in with a sort of natural one this time. I think for my lips, I'm just gonna use this lip liner all over. This one is the MAC one in Spice, and then I think I might go over it with a gloss of some sort. Yup! Oops. The gloss I'm going to be using is the Pixie and Chloe Morello collaboration. This one is in the shade Cake, and it is beautiful. It's a lovely clear gloss. It's a lovely clear gloss that's got loads of like nice glitter in it. Not that you can feel it, and it smells like Terry's chocolate orange. Oh my god, are we done? I feel like this has taken not that long. Maybe it has. To finish off, I'm going to be spraying my face with this Vitamin Hydrating Mist by First Aid Beauty, which I've only just whacked out, even though I've had it for like donkeys now. Oh. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got droplets. Oh my god, have I just ruined it? Yeah, probably. You can actually see it, can't you? Ooh. So there we go, look finished. If you're not into colour, I'm sorry. My next tutorial will be a natural one. Well, natural for me, very natural in fact. If you like this video, then give me a like, a cute comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.